One, I think we were discussing about basic respiration and the mechanism of breathing, right? So the reason of discussing this topic is that we are in unit 3. That is, in this unit we will be discussing about respiratory related equipment, especially the spirometer, pneumotachometer, and ventilators. So in order to understand these topics, beforehand we should know what is a general mechanism, normal mechanism of breathing process. That is the reason we are in last two class we had a basic introduction about the breathing and mechanism of breathing, everything. So not to in addition to that, we also get to know what are the different lung volumes and lung capacities are there. So these are called ventilator parameters. So unless until we don't know this particular topic, we can't understand the basic concept of spirometers and other stuffs. So the because of that, in this class we are just going to see what are the different ventilator parameters that need to be addressed before getting into the main topics of respiratory device or equipment, etc. So that is a thing here. I have brought out ventilator parameters in this class to be discussed. So let's start with what are the different types of ventilators parameters are there, why it is important when we are talking about respiratory equipment. Okay, so the ventilator parameters means here we are mainly focusing on one is lung volume, other one is a lung capacity, because these two things are very important. Okay, because everything, all the process. Okay, I think we are in last class we discussed the mechanism of breathing. So there if you see the mechanism, these are voluntary action. The mechanism of breathing, inspiration, expiration, everything is happening because of influence of pressure and volume. This the two thing is important. Okay, so it means that the lung has to be maintained in some volume, and it has to be maintained some pressure. So if it is in optimal range, then automatically the voluntary action of inspiration, expiration, everything will be take place. If there is any problem related to the lungs, it means it will disturb the pressure, and also it disturbs the lung volume, and also the help of accessory like muscles like intercostal muscles or diaphragm, everything should in proper manner. Okay, so if any way, okay, in some or any other way, if the functionality of intercostal muscles or diaphragm, the elastic property of the lungs, or the volume, pressure, rib cages, if any deformities is there, means if any deformities are there in this case, means ultimately it will affect the lung volume or lung holding capacity. So if it affects, automatically it will end up with some respiratory related disorders or respiratory problems and so on. So this is the case. It is very important to get to know what are the standard lung volumes are there, what are the different types of lung volumes, what are the and what is the value, the standard values for each lung volumes, what is the different types of capacity, lung capacities are there, and their standard values. So that is the reason we in this class we are going to discuss different types of lung volumes and lung capacity. Okay, so now let's start with lung volumes. That is the first parameters we are going to focus. Okay, so if you see, the first one is the tidal volume. Okay, so in this graph the waveform is like a sine wave, up and down. So here the up waveform is representing the inspiration, and down waveform is representing expiration. Okay, so this is the normal breathing process. When you are having very normal breathing at resting state, in the sense we will follow inspiration and expiration, inspiration, inspiration. That is the waveform here we have represented. Okay, so the now the tidal volume is nothing but the amount of air which is inspired and expired during normal breathing. Okay, this is what the tidal volume. So next one is inspiratory reserve volume. So the inspiratory reserve volume means there are some cases we will have a very hard inspiration, that is very hard inhalation by giving some extra effect. Okay, so at the end of a normal inspiration, if you are giving any some extra maximal inspiratory effect in order to inhale extra air inside your body, in the sense that volume, that amount of air is nothing but inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, so if you see, it will start at the end of inspiration, normal inspiration. So we have a normal inspiration range. So after, at the end of normal inspiration, if we are giving some extra effect to inhale even more additional air inside your body means, then it is called inspiratory reserve volume. Similarly, for if you see the expiratory refill volume, at the end of normal respiration, if we were in resting state, we are doing normal breathing, normal breathing, no. At the end of normal expiration, okay, you are inhaling, you are exhaling normally. Okay, at the end of normal expiration, if you are giving some extra effect to exhale even more gas out of your body, in the sense, okay, by putting some maximal extra effect in order to exhale even more gas, it means that even more gas, extra gas or amount of air is nothing but the expiratory reserve volume. Okay, so next, last one is residual volume, that is the RV. Okay, the RV is the volume, is the amount of air which is remain in the lungs after deep exhalation. See, if you see, you are doing inhalation, deep inhalation, and also you are exhaling deeply as a maximum effort, that is ERV. Okay, expiratory reserve volume, you are exhaling your utmost effort, by putting utmost effort, you are exhaling all the amount of the air out of your body, but still there is a remaining, will be a certain amount of gas which is resided inside your lung, that is a remained inside your lungs. That amount of air is nothing but residual volume. The reason of having this residual volume is that which is it will helps to prevent collapsing of your lungs. You know that the lungs functionality is almost similar like balloon. Okay, when you blow the balloon, the balloon will get inflate. If you release the gas from the balloon means, it will get shrink out. Okay, it will stick with each other. So if the same concept for lungs also, it's almost same like balloon. So when you do inhalation, the lungs will get expand. If you do exhalation, it automatically gets shrink. So if there is no residual volume, in the sense, these lungs will get collapsed. It will stick. It will stick on each other, and also we have bones inside. That is called rib cages. Okay, ribs are there. So what will happen? It will get collapsed with ribs. Then there will be a more high chances for the lungs, the elastic coil of the lungs, to get ruptured. Okay, this is the case when you don't have residual volume. I'm telling about, this is the case when there is a no residual volume. This ribs, what this elastic property of the lungs, what will happen once all the air is getting blown out, in the sense, the rib cage, the lungs will get shrink, and then it will get stick with each other, and also there is a high chance to get coiled on the ribs. So at last, even the ribs, the lungs will get ruptured. So in order to avoid these cases, it is naturally it's been made in such a way, there is some amount of gas to be remain in the lungs even after deep exhalation. So in this way, what is happening means, even after deep exhalation also, the lungs will not get collapsed. So that is what the God has been beautifully made in the structure, so that the residual volumes plays very important role. Okay, so these are the four main volumes as of now we have discussed. One is the tidal volume, the normal inspiration and expiration, that is when we are doing resting state. Second one is inspiratory reserve volume, third one is expiratory reserve volume, and fourth one is the residual volume. Okay, inspiratory reserve volume means maximum inspiration, expiratory volume is maximum expiration, and residual volume is the remaining air which is left out after deep expiration. So these are the four major volumes we have to know before getting into the main device related topics. Okay, so with this I will stop here. In next class we will discuss on the capacity as a continuation of this topic, the lung volume and lung capacity. Thank you.